Friends, if you are excited to watch the magical and super fun movie Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie in English, then make sure you like this video. And if you're visiting our channel for the very first time, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any amazing updates. In today's video, we are going to talk about one of the most adorable and entertaining films of 2025. Yes, we're talking about Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie. We'll dive into everything you need to know about this colorful and musical adventure, where you can watch it, which OTT platform or satellite channel it will be available on, and all the exciting behind-the-scenes details. We'll also explore the creative technical team, the music and animation departments, pre-production fun, filming process, and post-production magic. Plus, we'll cover the budget and box office collection to see how this movie is performing. Don't worry, I'll also walk you through the storyline and give you a light review of the movie, without giving away too many surprises. And of course, we'll talk about the charming characters, the fantastic voice actors, and which star has voiced which beloved character. So I kindly ask you to stay with us till the end of this video to get the full scoop. Now, let's jump into this magical journey and start the video. Alright friends, get ready because we're about to dive deep into the colorful and heartwarming world of Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, and trust me, this is a ride you'll want to hear about. The story kicks off in a way that fans of the show will love. Gabby wakes up bright and early, full of excitement because today is no ordinary day in the Dollhouse. It's the Dollhouse Friendship Festival, a once-in-a-year celebration where every room in the dollhouse comes alive with music, games, and surprises. But as Gabby and Pandy Paws start getting things ready, a tiny hiccup pops up. Well, actually, a big hiccup for the dollhouse world. A mysterious sparkle storm suddenly swirls through the rooms, shaking up the entire dollhouse, scattering decorations, and even causing a few mix-ups with the magic that keeps everything running smoothly. The movie jumps right into the fun, pulling us along as Gabby and her adorable crew, DJ Catnip, Cakey, Meerkat, Kitty Fairy, and Baby Box, scramble to figure out what's going on. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of just moving from one task to another like a checklist, the story plays with perspective and rhythm. Each room they visit has its own unique challenge, and each one teaches Gabby and her friends something meaningful: teamwork, patience, problem-solving, or creativity. In one room, they might be solving a musical puzzle where DJ Catnip's beats have gone wild. In another, they might be whipping up a magical cake with Cakey that refuses to rise without a sprinkle of laughter. The dollhouse itself almost feels like a living character, with each space offering new surprises and emotions. The narrative doesn't follow the usual straight line. It bends and loops with flashbacks, little daydream sequences from Gabby's imagination, and playful moments where the dolls share their own mini-stories. For example, there's a moment when Kitty Fairy takes Gabby into the garden room and tells a short, dreamy tale about the origins of the sparkle magic. These little detours don't slow things down. They actually add charm and make you feel like you're inside Gabby's playful, curious mind. Now let's talk about the turning points because wow, they're sprinkled like confetti across the story. One big moment hits when Gabby and her friends realize the sparkle storm isn't just a random event. It's being caused by a crack in the magic crystal at the heart of the dollhouse, something that's been quietly weakening for a while. Suddenly, the light-hearted festival mission becomes a real quest, and we see Gabby step up not just as a playful kid, but as a thoughtful leader. She rallies the team, splits up the tasks, and faces some pretty emotional moments, especially when Pandy Paws worries they might not be able to fix it in time. The way the movie handles these emotions is beautifully done. There's no heavy-handed drama, but just enough heart to make you root for them even more. Another fantastic turning point comes in the form of the festival itself. As the friends race to repair the magic crystal, they realize that the real magic isn't in the crystal alone. It's in the friendships they've built, the laughs they've shared, and the way they help each other. This theme lands beautifully without anyone needing to stand and give a speech. Instead, it's shown through their actions, like Gabby comforting Cakey when a baking disaster strikes or helping DJ Catnip find his rhythm again after a meltdown. Climax, without giving away every single detail, is a joyful burst of color, music, and celebration as the dollhouse is restored just in time for the festival's grand finale. One of the most entertaining parts is how the movie balances action and humor. There's a hilarious sequence where Baby Box tries to organize a parade float and everything goes completely sideways, and another where Meerkat's bubble experiments get totally out of hand. These moments keep the energy bouncing along, so even the younger audience stays hooked without feeling lost in the bigger plot. The emotional punch of the narrative really hits when you realize how each character grows a little by the end. Gabby becomes a more confident problem solver, Pandy Paws learns to face his fears, and even the side characters shine with little moments of growth. And the best part? The movie never feels like it's lecturing the audience. It delivers its themes through play, music, laughter, and heartfelt moments, just like Gabby's world always has. So in the end, Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie takes a simple premise, a friendship festival disrupted by magic, and spins it into a fun, layered, and surprisingly emotional adventure. It doesn't stick to a basic straight-line plot, but instead dances through time, imagination, and character moments, making sure the audience is smiling, laughing, and maybe even tearing up a little as they watch. It's a magical ride from start to finish, and honestly, it's just pure fun to talk about. Alright friends, let's jump into one of the most delightful parts of Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie, the characters. Because let's be real, it's the characters that make this world so lovable, and in the movie they're even more vibrant, layered, and fun to watch than ever before. What's really exciting is that the movie doesn't just rely on the cuteness and charm we already know from the series. It actually gives these characters space to grow, face new challenges, and reveal different sides of themselves that we might not have seen before. First up, of course, is Gabby. She's the heart and soul of the story, curious, optimistic, and always ready to help a friend. But in the movie, Gabby goes through a meaningful transformation. She starts off as the cheerful leader we all know, excited to throw the best Dollhouse Friendship Festival ever. But when the sparkle storm hits and things spiral into chaos, Gabby has to step up in a whole new way. We see her wrestle with moments of doubt and fear, wondering if she's bitten off more than she can handle. There's a really sweet moment where she confides in Pandy Paws, admitting that she's scared they won't be able to fix the crystal in time. And that's when you really see Gabby's growth kick in. She learns that being a leader isn't about having all the answers. It's about listening, trusting her friends, and keeping everyone's spirits up even when things get tough. Pandy Paws is another standout. Usually, he's the playful, cuddly sidekick, always ready with a hug or a joke. But in the movie, Pandy gets a deeper arc. When the magic crystal cracks and the future of the festival is at stake, Pandy starts to panic. He's never faced a problem this big before. There's a touching scene where he admits he's scared of letting everyone down, and for the first time we see him as more than just the comic relief. By the end, Pandy has found a quiet strength, realizing that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. He steps up to help in ways that surprise even himself, and it's incredibly rewarding to watch. Catchy is pure sugar and chaos, but the movie gives Catchy some nice moments of growth too. When one of the key festival desserts is ruined, a disaster in Catchy's world, Catchy has a mini meltdown, thinking it's all over. But with a little help from Gabby, Catchy learns to stay calm, get creative, and laugh through the mistakes. It's a small arc, but it's adorable and fits perfectly with the theme of resilience. Meerkat, the science-loving kitty, also gets some fun development. Usually focused on experiments and logic, Meerkat is thrown for a loop when her carefully planned bubble display goes wildly out of control. Watching her learn to embrace the unpredictable and even have fun with it adds a playful layer to her character. It's great to see a character known for precision loosen up and join the fun. DJ Catnip goes through a fun arc about rediscovering his groove, literally. At one point, he loses confidence in his musical abilities when the Dollhouse rhythm falls apart, and it's only through teamwork and encouragement that he rediscovers his spark. Watching DJ Catnip go from slouchy and discouraged to full-on dance party mode is one of the movie's most entertaining threads. And let's not forget Kitty Fairy and Baby Box. Kitty Fairy plays a key role as the gentle, wise guide who helps Gabby and her friends understand the deeper magic behind the sparkle storm. She's a bit like the heart of the Dollhouse, reminding everyone that magic comes from connection, not just crystals. Baby Box, on the other hand, brings endless enthusiasm but also faces a moment of doubt when her plans for the festival decorations go hilariously off track. She learns that sometimes the best creations come from happy accidents, and her journey adds a layer of playful chaos that keeps things lively. What's especially wonderful is how the relationships between the characters shape the entire movie. It's not just about individual arcs, it's about how they all grow together. Gabby's leadership becomes stronger because she learns to lean on her friends. Pandy finds courage through Gabby's reassurance. Catchy's creativity blossoms when everyone chips in to help. Even the moments of conflict, like when DJ Catnip loses his cool or when Catchy panics, lead to deeper understanding and connection among the group. The movie really shows that friendship isn't just about having fun, it's about helping each other grow, lifting each other up, and facing challenges side by side. What makes the character development so entertaining is that it's woven into the fun, playful tone of the movie. There's no heavy-handed drama or big emotional speeches. Instead, growth happens through cake disasters, dance-offs, bubble explosions, and magical mishaps. It's all wrapped in humor, music, and colorful adventure, which makes watching these characters evolve feel effortless and fun. So even as you're laughing and singing along, you're also watching a beautiful little journey of friendship and transformation unfold right before your eyes. Let's talk about the magic behind the magic, the voices that bring Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie to life. 'Cause as colorful and adorable as the animation is, it's the voice cast that gives these characters their spark, their personality, and all the emotional heart that makes the movie shine. The actors don't just read lines, they pour energy, humor, and warmth into every scene, making sure that the audience, no matter their age, is completely pulled into Gabby's whimsical world. First up, we have Gabby herself, voiced with infectious charm and endless enthusiasm. The actor behind Gabby doesn't just sound cheerful, she becomes Gabby. There's this wonderful balance in her performance between wide-eyed excitement and grounded emotion. Whether Gabby is racing through the dollhouse organizing the festival, comforting a panicking Pandy Paws, or rallying her friends during the chaos of the sparkle storm, the voice performance makes every moment feel authentic. You can actually hear Gabby's determination when things go wrong, the little flicker of doubt when she worries she can't fix everything, and the pure joy when the team comes together. It's not just cute, it's layered, and it gives the whole movie an emotional anchor. Pandy Paws' voice actor is another gem. There's a softness and playfulness in Pandy's voice that makes every line sound like a warm hug. But in the movie, the actor also gets to stretch into moments of vulnerability, especially when Pandy admits his fears about failing the team. The performance captures both the silly and the serious sides of Pandy, turning what could have been a one-note sidekick role into something much more lovable and relatable. There's a moment where Pandy starts doubting himself mid-adventure, and you can hear the slight crack in his voice. It's subtle, but it hits just right and makes his later bravery all the more rewarding. Catchy's voice actor is pure joy on a microphone. Bursting with energy, excitement, and a sprinkle of chaos, Catchy's voice practically dances across every scene. But here's the fun part. The actor also nails the more anxious moments, like when a baking mishap threatens to ruin the festival desserts. You hear the panic, the fast-talking fluster, and then later the triumphant giggles when the disaster is turned into a win. Catchy's voice is a big reason why the humor lands so well and why the character feels so full of life. Mercat's performance is another standout, especially because the actor balances science-wise seriousness with moments of pure whimsy. Mercat's voice actor has this slightly posh, precise tone when explaining experiments or gadgets, but when things start to go off the rails, like when her bubble machines go haywire, the laughter and surprise in her voice add a whole new dimension. It's this combination of logic and fun that makes Mercat a fan favorite, and the actor nails it beautifully. DJ Catnip's voice actor brings pure cool cat vibes to the table. There's a laid-back, musical rhythm to his voice that makes every line feel like part of a song. But when DJ Catnip loses his confidence halfway through the movie, the shift in tone is subtle but powerful. You can hear the slump, the disappointment, and then the gradual rebuild of his spirit, culminating in an awesome, high-energy performance during the festival's big musical finale. It's like listening to someone go from a quiet hum to a full-on dance party, and it adds so much to his arc. Kitty Fairy and Baby Box both bring a lot of heart and humor thanks to their talented voice actors. Kitty Fairy's voice is soft, lilting, and almost musical, perfectly fitting her role as the gentle guide of the group. There's a warmth and wisdom in her voice that makes you feel calm even when things go wild. Baby Box, on the other hand, brings pure excitement with a bouncy, eager voice that's guaranteed to make you smile. The actor's delivery during the festival preparations, especially when things hilariously collapse, is laugh-out-loud funny, and when Baby Box has her little moment of growth, the sincerity in her voice really shines through. One of the best things about the movie's performances is how well the leads and supporting cast play off each other. There's a natural, effortless chemistry in the way they interact, whether they're teaming up for an adventure, teasing each other, or lifting each other up after a setback. You can tell the voice actors are fully dialed into their characters' relationships, making the emotional beats, the moments of teamwork, friendship, and learning, feel real and earned. Even the smallest background characters and guest voices get their moments to shine, adding texture and depth to the Dollhouse world. What's especially fun is that the performances never feel like they're just for kids. There's a level of craft here that makes the humor land, the emotions resonate, and the characters leap off the screen no matter who's watching. So when you're laughing at a cakey cake catastrophe, tapping your foot to a DJ catnip jam, or feeling your heart warm during a Gabby Pandy hug, remember, it's the voice actors behind the scenes who make all that magic possible, one brilliant line at a time. Let's dive into the behind-the-scenes magic, friends, the director of Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie absolutely knows how to create a movie that's not just fun to watch, but feels like an adventure from start to finish. The tone and mood of the film are carefully shaped in a way that perfectly matches the Dollhouse's colorful, imaginative world, and at the same time it brings out a sense of real emotional depth. From the very first scene, you're hit with that sense of excitement, warmth, and charm that makes the world of Gabby feel like a place you could just step into. But what makes it even more fun to explore is the way the director handles those shifts, from lighthearted fun to moments of quiet reflection, all while keeping the pace and energy flowing in a way that never feels too fast or too slow. One of the coolest things the director does is play with the mood and the magic of the Dollhouse itself. The sets, or rooms rather, aren't just locations, they're almost like living characters. And it's no accident that each room feels totally distinct, reflecting the personality of whoever's in it. From the candy-sweet chaos of Cake's kitchen to the calm, dreamy garden where Kitty Fairy works her magic, the director uses color, lighting, and design in a way that amplifies each character's vibe. You could almost feel the textures of the rooms, the smooth, sparkly walls, the soft, plushy surfaces of the Dollhouse furniture, and that sense of sensory delight is part of what makes the whole experience so immersive. It's like the director is inviting you into this world and saying, "Here, feel the magic for yourself." Then, when things start to go wrong, the sparkle storm hits, the magic gets disrupted, and the Dollhouse begins to unravel. You feel the contrast immediately. The once vibrant and perfectly organized Dollhouse becomes a bit messy, a bit chaotic, and the colors are a little less bright. Such a cool stylistic choice that pulls you deeper into the story. It's not just about the plot or the characters anymore, it's about how the world around them changes and reacts to their emotional journeys. The director lets the visuals tell part of the story, adding depth and texture to the narrative. Another thing the director nails is the pacing. This movie isn't rushed, nor does it drag its feet. The way the story unfolds feels perfectly balanced, just the right amount of time spent in each room, each adventure, each character moment. Pace never feels frantic, even when the stakes get higher and the characters are running around trying to fix the Dollhouse. You're never left feeling like things are moving too quickly or slowly. Instead, each scene flows naturally into the next, letting you savor the fun and the magic, while also making sure the emotional beats hit with just the right amount of impact. Pacing gives room for the quieter, more reflective moments without sacrificing the energy that keeps things exciting and fun. What's also super fun is how the director plays with different perspectives and viewpoints, especially in the more whimsical and imaginative sequences. For example, there's a part of the movie where Gabby and her friends enter a dream sequence where everything is exaggerated and magical. Camera zooms and spins in a way that gives you this sense of floating through a world that's bending and shifting with the characters' imaginations. It's a moment of pure playfulness where the director can throw out the rules and just have fun with the visual language of the movie. This isn't just about looking cute, it's about capturing the essence of creativity, imagination, and fun in a way that feels alive. Then there's the way the director handles transitions between moments of excitement and moments of emotion. When Gabby starts doubting herself or when the team faces a setback, there's a subtle, almost cinematic shift in the mood. Colors get a little warmer, the music slows down, and the character interactions become softer and more intimate. This allows the audience to connect on a deeper level with the characters, making their growth feel real and earned. But then, just when you think the mood might stay heavy for too long, the director shifts gears, bringing back that lively, upbeat energy with a burst of music, a new adventure, or a character moment that lifts the story back up. It's all about balancing those highs and lows, keeping the experience dynamic and emotionally satisfying. One of the best things about the direction is how it taps into the childlike wonder and excitement of the world without feeling like it's only for kids. The director doesn't talk down to the audience, instead they invite everyone, young and old, into the magic. There are plenty of inside jokes and visual gags that keep things entertaining for the older crowd, while still making sure the story resonates with kids on their level. It's a universal feel-good approach that allows the film to speak to a wide range of audiences, all while maintaining its heart. The director's use of shot composition is also on point. Whether it's a close-up of Gabby's face as she's about to take a big leap of faith or a wide shot that shows off the whole dollhouse in all its sparkling, colorful glory, the framing is always intentional. Every angle feels like it's drawing you into the emotional core of the story. The director doesn't just focus on action or plot, they focus on the emotional texture of each scene, letting you feel what the characters feel and see what they see. By blending all of these elements together, the playful, vibrant visuals, the emotional tone, the perfect pacing, and the creative shot composition, the director really shapes an experience that's both magical and meaningful. You're not just watching a fun movie about Gabby and her friends, you're getting swept up in a world where anything is possible, where every room holds a new adventure, and where every challenge is a chance for growth and connection. It's the kind of direction that doesn't just tell a story but makes you feel it inside and out. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the visual artistry of Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie, because friends, the cinematography is chef's kiss on another level. The way the camera dances around the dollhouse, the way it captures every little spark of magic and every emotional twist, it all brings an extra layer of magic to the storytelling. It's not just about pretty pictures, it's about how every camera angle, every lighting choice, and every frame adds to the world building and the emotional depth of the story. From the very first shot, you're immediately immersed in the dollhouse's whimsical world. Camera loves to zoom in on the tiniest details, the soft twinkle of the glittery walls, the bounce of a fluffy pillow, the twirl of a ribbon in the air. These small moments make the world feel real, tactile, and full of life. It's almost like the camera is as curious as Gabby herself, exploring every nook and cranny of this vibrant universe with wide-eyed wonder. And it doesn't just linger on the cute stuff, it zooms in on the emotional stuff too. When Gabby is faced with a tough decision, the camera gets close to her face, letting us feel her uncertainty, her hope, and her determination. It's these subtle details that make the story feel personal and grounded, even in a world of magic and make-believe. Lighting is another star of the show here. When everything's going smoothly and the Dollhouse Festival is in full swing, the lighting is warm and golden, bathing everything in this inviting, almost dreamlike glow. It's the kind of lighting that makes everything look perfect, like the world is sparkling with possibility. But when the sparkle storm hits and the world starts to crumble a bit, the lighting shifts. The soft, cozy warmth is replaced by cooler tones and shadows that make everything feel more uncertain and intense. Such a clever way to visually reflect the emotional stakes of the story. You're not just hearing about the tension, you're feeling it through the lighting changes, which add to the drama of the scene. And let's talk about the magic sequences where the cinematography really gets to shine. During those moments when Gabby and her friends tap into their creativity and the world turns into something out of a dream, the camera takes us on a visual journey that feels otherworldly. There's one scene where the camera follows a bubble as it floats through the air, catching the light in all these beautiful ways. The bubble isn't just a fun visual, it represents the joy, the creativity, and the wonder that drives the characters forward. The fluid movement of the camera as it follows the bubble is mesmerizing, pulling you deeper into the magic. But it's not all soft and sweet. The cinematography also brings the action to life. When things go wrong, the camera tightens up and the frames become a little more dynamic and erratic. The angles change to reflect the chaos, with tilted shots that give you the feeling that the world is spinning out of control. These moments of intense action are balanced with some quieter, more intimate shots, allowing the audience to feel both the tension of the situation and the relief that comes when things settle down. It's a visual roller coaster that mirrors the emotional highs and lows of the story. In the more emotionally charged scenes, like when Gabby starts to doubt herself or when Pandy Paws faces his own fears, the cinematography uses framing to draw us closer to the characters. Tight close-up shots bring out the vulnerability in their expressions, and you can practically feel their hearts racing through the lens. You don't just watch these moments unfold, you experience them. It's almost like the camera becomes an emotional lens, allowing us to connect with the characters on a deeper level. Then, of course, there are those glorious wide-angle shots that show the entire dollhouse in all its glory. The vibrant rooms, the sparkling colors, the endless possibilities. These sweeping shots are a visual treat, offering us a panoramic view of the magical world and reminding us just how big and exciting this tiny universe really is. Whether it's a bird's-eye view of the entire Dollhouse Festival or a sweeping shot of the characters working together, these wide shots make the whole adventure feel epic, even though it's happening in the confines of a playroom. The cinematography also plays with perspective in a way that enhances the fantastical elements. During those dreamlike, whimsical moments, the camera often shifts to more playful angles, like looking up at the characters from below or spinning around in circles with them. It adds to the feeling of being in a world that's a little bit turned upside down, where anything is possible and imagination has no limits. These playful shots elevate the fun, making even the most mundane moments feel like part of a larger, magical story. But it's not just about the big, bold shots, it's the little details that make the cinematography sing. The way the light flickers when Gabby opens a mysterious, sparkly door, or the way the camera focuses on the tiniest gesture, like a hand reaching out for help or a smile of encouragement between friends. These moments are captured with such care that they leave a lasting emotional impact, pulling you right into the heart of the story. Overall, the cinematography in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie doesn't just serve the story, it amplifies it. Every camera angle, every burst of light, and every frame works in harmony to pull you deeper into the dollhouse's whimsical world. It's visually stunning, emotionally resonant, and just the right touch of playful, a perfect match for the movie's heart, humor, and magic. Let's talk about the unsung hero of Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie, the editing. Now, you might think of editing as the thing that happens behind the scenes, but in this movie, it's the magic wand that keeps everything flowing smoothly, creating those seamless transitions that make the adventure feel like one big, continuous ride. From start to finish, the editing ensures that the pace stays just right, whether we're diving into a full-on action sequence or slowing down for a tender, heartfelt moment. It's the kind of editing that doesn't call attention to itself, but instead works quietly to make everything feel like it fits perfectly together. One of the first things you'll notice is how effortlessly the film moves between the different sets of the dollhouse. Each room has its own vibe. One minute, you're in the colorful chaos of Cake's kitchen, and the next, you're in the calm, peaceful garden with Kitty Fairy. The editing makes these transitions feel natural, never jarring. There's a fluidity that helps the story feel alive, constantly shifting without losing momentum. This is especially important when the characters are on their journey to fix the problems in the dollhouse. The editing keeps us engaged with just the right amount of rhythm, allowing each scene to breathe before diving into the next adventure. Pacing of the movie is pretty spot on, no moments drag and nothing feels rushed. Every sequence is given just enough time to unfold, whether it's a high-energy moment where everyone's running around trying to fix things or a quieter emotional scene where Gabby reflects on the importance of teamwork and friendship. The way the film balances action and reflection through the pacing is a true feat. You never feel like things are moving too quickly, so you don't have time to connect with the characters. Nor do you ever feel like it's dragging. There's always something happening, but it's not so fast-paced that you miss the emotional beats. In those tense moments when the characters face a challenge, like the looming sparkle storm or a disaster in the kitchen, the editing helps build the suspense. Quick cuts, close-ups of characters' faces, and rapid sequences of events make you feel the pressure, creating a sense of urgency. It's the kind of pacing that keeps you on the edge of your seat, but then, just when the tension peaks, the editing takes a breath, slowing things down and letting the characters process what's happening. This ebb and flow of pacing keeps the movie from feeling overwhelming, and it also makes those quiet, emotional moments feel more impactful. When the movie does slow down, especially during the more introspective scenes, the editing creates space for the characters' emotions to land. Whether it's Gabby struggling with self-doubt or Pandy Paws realizing his true strength, the editing lingers just long enough on their expressions to make those moments resonate. The rhythm here is key. It lets you sit with the characters' feelings before pushing forward into the next big adventure. It's not just about what's happening in the plot, it's about giving you time to feel the heart of the story. The film also keeps things fresh with some clever editing techniques that amp up the whimsical vibe of the Dollhouse world. Quick, zippy cuts during the magical dream sequences or when Gabby and her friends are rushing from one place to another add a playful, energetic feel that matches the tone of the movie. These speedy transitions give the sense of time bending and swirling in a world where imagination rules, and it's so much fun to watch. Even though the film takes you on a whirlwind ride, the editing ensures it never gets disorienting. Instead, it makes each new twist feel exciting and just the right amount of chaotic. What's also impressive is how the editing blends moments of action with emotional beats. When there's a big group effort to solve a problem, like when everyone bands together to organize the Dollhouse Festival, the cuts are quick and synchronized, creating a sense of unity and excitement. But when a character has a breakthrough moment, like when Pandy Paws finds the courage to step up or Gabby realizes the importance of her friends, the editing slows down to match the emotional weight. Camera might linger a bit longer on a character's face, and the cuts become less frantic, giving the audience time to really feel that growth. This rhythm between quick action and slower emotional moments makes the overall pace feel natural and satisfying. There's also a smart use of repetition in the editing that builds anticipation. If Gabby or any of her friends are gearing up for something important, the editing might cut back and forth between different characters, creating a build-up of tension before the big moment. It's almost like the film's editing gives you a little tease of what's coming, heightening the sense of anticipation, then releases it in a satisfying way once the moment arrives. This keeps the audience on their toes without making things feel predictable. Finally, the editing works hand in hand with the film's humor. The way it cuts to different characters during funny moments, or the quick back and forth between characters when they're problem-solving, adds to the comedic timing. There's a lightness to the rhythm that complements the playful, fun atmosphere of the movie. Quick cuts during the more energetic or silly moments give the film a sense of speed and movement that keeps things feeling fresh and full of life. In short, the editing in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie is a masterclass in pacing and flow. The rhythm of the film is perfectly tuned to the emotional beats and adventurous spirit of the story. It's energetic and playful when it needs to be, and calm and thoughtful when it's time to reflect. This balance keeps the audience engaged from start to finish, never letting the pace falter or feel too slow. Instead, the editing keeps the film's energy and emotional resonance flowing smoothly so that by the end you're left feeling like you've been on one heck of a joyful, magical ride. The soundtrack and score of Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, are nothing short of magical. From the very first note, you know you're in for an auditory treat that not only complements the visuals but also enhances every emotional moment. It's one of those scores that feels like a character in itself, subtly guiding the film's energy, mood, and even amplifying the magic that exists in Gabby's world. The music isn't just background noise, it's a key player in bringing the story to life, and it does so with a playful yet emotional touch. Right from the beginning, the score introduces a delightful and bouncy melody that immediately sets the tone for the whimsical world of the Dollhouse. It's light and fun, echoing the sense of wonder and possibility that pervades the story. This opening theme quickly becomes a kind of signature tune that you'll hear reappear throughout the movie in different variations. The way the score reuses this theme is clever because each time it shows up, it's transformed slightly to reflect the emotional changes in the story. It might start out happy and carefree, but as the characters face obstacles, that same melody might take on a more introspective or tense quality, giving you a musical cue that something important is happening. One of the standout features of the soundtrack is how it uses recurring motifs to tie the different scenes together. Whether it's a melody that plays when Gabby and her friends are on a magical adventure or a specific rhythm that signals the dollhouse's transformative moments, these motifs help create a sense of continuity and emotional resonance. The motifs aren't overwhelming, they don't hit you over the head, but they gently guide you through the emotional ups and downs of the story. When Gabby learns something new or has an epiphany, the music swells in a way that mirrors her growth, creating a sense of emotional payoff that feels satisfying. The use of music during key emotional moments is especially effective. Take, for example, the moments when Gabby starts to doubt herself or when the group is facing a particularly tough challenge. The music subtly shifts to match the tone of the scene. It becomes more subdued, reflective, and intimate. The score leans into the quieter, more vulnerable side of the characters, allowing us to feel their inner turmoil. It's in these moments where silence is also expertly used. There's a beautiful sense of space in the score. At times, the music will almost completely drop out, leaving just the natural sound of the dollhouse or a single instrument to convey the raw emotion of the scene. This silence, when used sparingly, hits harder than any grand orchestral swell could. It makes you focus in on the characters and their emotions, giving the story room to breathe. When the energy picks up, particularly during the more playful and adventurous sequences, the music explodes with color. The fast-paced, rhythmic beats get your heart racing as Gabby and her friends scramble to save the day, and the upbeat tempo matches the action in a way that keeps everything light and exciting. There's a sense of playfulness in the music that mirrors the creativity and imagination of the dollhouse world, with whimsical instruments like xylophones and marimbas adding a bit of sparkle and bounce to the soundscape. It's the kind of music that makes you want to get up and dance, or at least tap your foot along with the rhythm. What's really neat is how the score adapts to different characters and their unique personalities. For instance, when Catchy is front and center, the music has a light, almost sugary sweet quality to it, with twinkling notes that perfectly reflect her sweet and bubbly nature. Meanwhile, when Kitty Fairy takes the stage, the music turns gentler and more magical, incorporating softer strings and a bit of a dreamlike quality. These little musical cues help deepen our connection to the characters, letting us feel the mood of the room without needing to be told. One of the most striking moments in the soundtrack comes during the film's more suspenseful sequences, especially when the dollhouse faces a crisis. Here, the music plays a significant role in building tension. The score becomes more intense and layered, using dissonant chords and fast-paced percussion to mirror the frantic energy of the characters. These musical shifts work in perfect harmony with the editing, creating a pulse that mimics the heartbeats of the characters as they face their biggest challenges. Despite all this dynamic and diverse music, the score never overpowers the story. It always stays in the background, enhancing the emotional beats without taking center stage. It's perfectly balanced, dramatic when it needs to be, but also light and playful when the moment calls for it. The music's ability to switch between different moods and tones is seamless, and it works in harmony with the pacing of the film. Whether it's setting the stage for a dramatic moment, adding a touch of humor, or amplifying a moment of growth, the music fits perfectly into the narrative. And then, of course, there's the joyfully infectious opening and closing songs. These moments are a celebration of everything Gabby and her friends have learned and achieved. The upbeat tracks make you want to sing along, capturing the essence of the movie's core message: creativity, teamwork, and the magic of friendship. They leave you feeling uplifted with a smile on your face as the credits roll. The way the score interacts with the visuals, especially those magical dream sequences or moments when the dollhouse itself shifts, is another highlight. It's as if the music and the animation are working together to create something greater than the sum of their parts. The music has the ability to transform the dollhouse into something that feels alive, and it adds an extra layer of wonder to the magical elements. Each note is like a sprinkle of fairy dust, helping the audience feel the enchantment of this world. In short, the music in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, isn't just a soundtrack, it's an essential part of the storytelling. It elevates the emotional stakes, enhances the whimsical magic of the world, and deepens our connection with the characters. Whether it's a playful tune or a heartwarming melody, the music always enhances the experience, ensuring that every moment of the movie hits with just the right amount of emotional punch. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie is far more than just a colorful, fun-filled adventure. It's a heartfelt exploration of themes that resonate on a deeper level, even in a world made of imagination and sparkle. The film dives into some surprisingly profound messages about creativity, friendship, and the power of believing in yourself. But don't worry, it doesn't get too heavy-handed or preachy. It finds a way to weave these ideas into the fabric of the story, making them feel natural, accessible, and most importantly, meaningful. One of the central themes that runs throughout the film is the power of teamwork and collaboration. Gabby's journey, like many great adventures, is driven by the people she surrounds herself with. Whether it's her colorful crew of friends or even the small characters she meets along the way, the movie makes it clear that working together is key to overcoming challenges. And this isn't just about getting things done, it's about supporting each other emotionally, understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses, and finding creative solutions together. It's like the movie is quietly telling its audience, no matter how big or small you are or how different you might seem, together you can achieve amazing things. It's not only a lesson for the characters but for everyone watching, reminding us that the best ideas often come from the group, and that collaboration is where true magic happens. But the theme of teamwork also ties into something deeper, the idea of trust. Gabby must learn to trust herself, but she also has to trust others. There are moments in the movie where characters are reluctant to ask for help, or where they try to tackle things on their own, only to realize that they need the support of their friends. This theme is skillfully explored without feeling forced. The way the characters go through their own personal growth, from feeling unsure of themselves to stepping up and trusting others, speaks to a universal experience and one that children in particular can really relate to. Alongside this, there's a wonderful thread about creativity and the importance of imagination. Gabby's Dollhouse is, of course, a literal manifestation of imagination, but the movie emphasizes how creativity isn't just about fun and games, it's a powerful tool for problem-solving. Throughout the movie, we see Gabby and her friends come up with creative solutions to problems, often in the most unexpected and imaginative ways. There's an undercurrent of the message that creativity isn't something confined to artists or dreamers, it's something we can all tap into, whether we're building a toy castle or figuring out how to fix a broken dollhouse. The idea that imagination fuels real-world solutions is a subtle yet profound theme that encourages the audience to embrace their creativity and use it to make the world a better place. And let's not overlook the theme of believing in yourself. This is a big one. Gabby, like many characters in stories of this kind, faces self-doubt. She questions whether she's capable of solving the problem at hand, or if she's truly the right person for the job. It's something every viewer can identify with, no matter their age. The film expertly shows that belief in one's abilities is not just about having confidence in the moment, it's about understanding your strengths, accepting your weaknesses, and trusting that you can always learn and grow. Gabby's journey to self-acceptance is beautifully illustrated through her interactions with her friends, her challenges, and the way she learns to trust herself. It's a quiet but powerful message that resonates with anyone who has ever felt unsure of themselves but found the courage to keep going. Of course, this message about self-belief also ties into a larger universal theme, the importance of perseverance. Characters face obstacles, some big and some small, but they never give up. There's a quiet strength in the way they keep trying, even when the odds are stacked against them. This theme of perseverance is delivered with just the right amount of subtlety. It's not about shouting "never give up" from the rooftops. It's about showing, through action and character growth, how persistence pays off. Perhaps one of the most interesting messages in the film is its exploration of emotional growth. Throughout the movie, the characters experience real emotional moments, from feeling anxious about a looming deadline to dealing with a mistake they made. These emotions are handled in such a thoughtful, realistic way, teaching young viewers that it's okay to feel uncertain or make mistakes. In fact, it's part of the process of growing up. What's refreshing about the way these emotional moments are treated is that they don't have easy solutions or magical fixes. Instead, the characters work through their emotions, lean on their friends, and come to their own realizations. The film doesn't shy away from showing that growth isn't always smooth or linear, but it does convey that emotional struggles are just part of the adventure. The importance of kindness and empathy also takes center stage in the film, though it's never forced. Gabby and her friend show care for each other in countless ways, whether it's offering a helping hand, sharing a kind word, or simply listening to each other. The film makes it clear that kindness and understanding are essential in relationships, and that empathy, the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, is what holds a community together. This theme is especially poignant in a movie where the characters' bond is tested but ultimately strengthened through these very acts of kindness. And finally, there's a subtle but poignant message about the balance between work and play. Characters work hard to fix the dollhouse and solve the problems that arise, but they also take time to enjoy themselves and celebrate their accomplishments. The film subtly promotes the idea that hard work doesn't have to come at the expense of joy, that finding the balance between responsibility and fun is key to a fulfilling life. It's a message that both children and adults can appreciate, especially in today's fast-paced world. In the end, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie doesn't just give you a fun ride, it offers deeper, more thoughtful ideas that linger long after the final scene. Whether it's about believing in yourself, the power of friendship, or the beauty of creativity, the themes feel meaningful and thoughtfully integrated into the story. They're not just there to make a point, they're part of what makes the film so heartwarming and impactful. The visual effects and CGI in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie play a crucial role in bringing the whimsical, colorful world of Gabby and her friends to life. This isn't a film grounded in gritty realism, far from it. Instead, it thrives in a vibrant, fantastical space where magic, imagination, and fun rule the day. And the visual effects help to immerse you completely in that world, without ever feeling like they're trying too hard to impress. The effects are designed not to dominate the story but to enhance the experience, making the world feel more alive, magical, and interactive. One of the most impressive aspects of the visual effects is how seamlessly they blend with the established tone of the movie. It's easy to imagine a world where over-the-top CGI could feel out of place, but here everything feels like it belongs. The magical transformations that happen within the dollhouse, for example, are just the right level of eye-catching. They're fantastical without crossing into overwhelming territory. It's almost as if the dollhouse itself is an organic part of the world, and the visual effects are used to highlight its charm and playfulness. When Gabby opens a new room or a magical creature pops up from a surprise spot, the CGI feels like a natural extension of the imaginative space they're in. There's never a sense of the visuals being there just for the sake of spectacle. They're part of the storytelling, amplifying the sense of wonder but never overshadowing the heart of the film. In terms of how the practical effects compare to the digital ones, the two work hand in hand with great success. The dollhouse itself, which is a central character in the story, is a mix of real-world physical sets and CGI enhancements. You get the sense that what you're seeing is both tangible and magical. The set design is absolutely gorgeous, with vibrant colors and playful details that make the dollhouse feel like a real living space. Yet the CGI work seamlessly adds to it, whether it's making the dollhouse grow or change shape or bringing in the more fantastical elements like floating toys or talking animals. Practical effects create a solid foundation, while the CGI lifts those moments into something that feels truly magical but never so overblown that it pulls you out of the moment. One of the standout sequences where the visual effects really shine is during the dreamlike, magical moments. Gabby and her friends move through spaces that aren't bound by the laws of physics or reality, and here the CGI excels in making the impossible seem believable. There's one scene in particular where a room changes shape, and the walls shift and twist around the characters. The effect is done with such fluidity that it feels like a natural part of the world, not something that's been artificially forced in for dramatic flair. It's these types of moments that make the CGI feel both whimsical and grounded, as though it's part of the fabric of the world rather than an external force. The movie also uses effects to bring the characters' emotional moments to life. For example, when Gabby faces a challenge or emotional hurdle, the visual effects subtly reflect her internal state. The colors shift and the surroundings grow more intense, matching her journey. It's a clever use of CGI to amplify the mood of the scene, creating an immersive emotional experience. This subtle use of digital effects helps to convey the characters' feelings without resorting to anything too overt. It's a perfect balance of artistry and storytelling where the effects aren't there just for spectacle. They're there to help convey the deeper emotional beats of the movie. The blending of practical effects with digital ones also highlights the careful thought put into the film's aesthetic. There's a lot of attention to detail in how both types of effects are used. When Gabby and her friends interact with physical objects, those objects feel real, and the reactions, the way the characters move and interact with them, feel natural. Then, when the film ventures into the more magical, fantastical elements, the CGI enhances the sense of wonder without taking you out of the moment. The digital effects aren't flashy or distracting. They work to elevate the story, making it feel like anything is possible in this world. Another nice touch is how the CGI doesn't overwhelm the practical world of the film. Instead of relying on heavy digital effects for every action sequence or magical moment, the filmmakers strike a balance by using them selectively. The film doesn't drown in CGI. It knows when to pull back and let the story breathe, allowing the characters and their relationships to take center stage. The effects are used strategically to heighten key moments like the transformation of the dollhouse or magical creatures coming to life, but these moments are spaced out in a way that allows the audience to connect with the characters before they dive into the more fantastical elements. Perhaps the most impressive use of visual effects comes during the sequences when Gabby's imagination truly takes over, and the world around her bends and shifts in surreal ways. The way the CGI seamlessly transforms the environment while keeping everything feeling grounded in the same playful, colorful style is impressive. The visual effects team clearly knew that this world needed to feel magical but also approachable, and they pulled it off with finesse. The effects are not so much a show of technical prowess but a way to make the fantastical elements feel organic to the story. It's like the movie is saying, "Look, this is a magical world, but it's also a world you could imagine yourself in." Overall, the visual effects and CGI in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, are a perfect fit for the film's playful tone and imaginative spirit. The effects enhance the world, allowing the story to unfold in unexpected, magical ways without ever feeling like a distraction. Whether it's the seamless blending of real-world sets with digital transformations, the subtle use of effects to highlight emotional shifts, or the vibrant, colorful CGI that makes the dollhouse feel alive, the visual effects play a crucial role in elevating the film's immersive experience. They don't overshadow the story. They enhance it, making every magical moment feel just that much more possible. In Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, the set design and locations take center stage in creating a world that is as vibrant, whimsical, and immersive as the characters themselves. The film's world isn't just a backdrop. It's a fully realized character that interacts with the story, contributing to its magical atmosphere and emotional beats. The sets are brimming with color, creativity, and delightful details that invite the audience into a space where anything feels possible, and that's exactly the vibe the filmmakers are going for. The dollhouse itself is the heart of the movie, and the set design surrounding it feels like a child's dream come true. Each room is a carefully crafted playground of color and imagination, from the smallest nook to the grandest space. Props and furniture within these spaces are playful and often come to life in a way that adds to the magic of the environment. Everything feels designed with purpose, to not only be visually striking but to support the movie's themes of creativity, play, and wonder. It's a world where objects are not just static pieces of decor, they have a personality. Whether it's the talking toys, magical gadgets, or the furniture that seems to rearrange itself, the set design elevates these elements into the realm of possibility, making the world feel as though it's just on the edge of reality. But it's not just the dollhouse that steals the show. The locations outside of it also contribute a great deal to the overall atmosphere and narrative. From the moment Gabby steps out of the dollhouse and into the surrounding areas, the world expands in such a way that each new setting feels like an exciting adventure. Whether it's a forest filled with quirky creatures or a fantastical marketplace where the impossible seems to happen at every corner, the locations are bursting with energy and creativity. Each new place Gabby and her friends visit adds depth to the story, providing fresh backdrops for the unfolding narrative. These locations aren't just places to pass through, they are integral to the development of the plot, with each setting offering its own unique challenges and opportunities for growth. The attention to detail in the set design is impressive. Textures of the environments, from the plush softness of the dollhouse's walls to the shimmering surfaces of magical items, are all carefully considered to create a tactile, immersive experience. Props, whether they're colorful toys or enchanted trinkets, are designed not just to fill the space but to contribute to the magic of the story. The set designers have crafted these spaces so that every corner feels alive with possibility, and each object holds potential for adventure. What's especially fun about the design of the dollhouse and its surrounding locations is the sense of scale. There's a playful use of perspective throughout the film that makes the characters feel small and large in relation to their surroundings, a visual trick that heightens the sense of whimsy. The idea that Gabby's world is a mixture of oversized and tiny elements, sometimes she's standing next to a giant toy or walking into a room that seems to stretch out forever, adds a layer of wonder to the entire experience. This shift in scale doesn't just make the world feel more magical, it also allows for some truly memorable visual moments that make the world seem limitless. The way these settings interact with the narrative is also a big part of their success. Locations are more than just pretty backdrops, they actively shape the story's progression. For example, when Gabby faces a challenge, the environment often reflects her emotional journey. The lighting and color scheme shift as she grows and learns, with darker or more muted tones taking over when she faces adversity, only for the colors to brighten again once she overcomes obstacles. These subtle shifts in the environment make the story feel cohesive, as if the world is reacting to the characters' emotional states. Then, there's the sheer playfulness of the props and objects scattered throughout the locations. It's clear that no detail was overlooked. Every tiny trinket or quirky object has a role to play, whether it's a playful character moment or a puzzle piece that needs to be solved. Some props act almost like characters themselves, coming to life in unexpected ways to aid or challenge the main characters. These little touches keep the environment feeling dynamic, giving the audience the sense that the world is just as much a part of the adventure as Gabby and her friends. The set design also embraces the idea of discovery. Each new setting offers up new surprises, creating an atmosphere where the audience feels like they're constantly stumbling upon new layers of this vibrant world. It's the kind of design that encourages curiosity, urging viewers to look a little closer at the surroundings and catch all the little details, like hidden pathways, secret rooms, and quirky objects tucked away in corners. It's an environment that invites exploration, and it does so in a way that feels magical rather than overwhelming. What stands out most, however, is the consistent sense of play and imagination that flows through the entire design. The sets feel like an extension of Gabby's creative spirit. The film doesn't just use its locations as places for action, it uses them as spaces where imagination can run wild. The whimsical nature of the settings invites the audience to let go of reality and immerse themselves in a world where the impossible can happen at any moment. It's a world that feels alive not just because of the characters but because of the way the space itself is so richly designed to support the story. All of this culminates in a world that feels like an enchanting dream come to life. The sets and locations in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, aren't just there to serve the plot, they're there to transport the audience into a realm of limitless creativity, imagination, and wonder. It's a world that beckons you to explore every corner, every toy, every object, all while adding layers to the story and deepening the emotional connection. The attention to detail in both the design and execution of the locations ensures that this world feels real, vibrant, and entirely believable, no matter how magical it might get. In Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, the dialogue is as vibrant and playful as the world it inhabits. The script doesn't just deliver lines, it delivers fun, heart, and a sense of wonder in every word. Characters' conversations feel natural, but at the same time they're carefully crafted to infuse energy into every scene. Whether Gabby is talking to her friends or solving a magical mystery, the dialogue flows with an ease that matches the film's imaginative spirit. One of the most engaging aspects of the script is how it captures the voices of each character. Gabby's tone is cheerful and curious, while her friends bring their own unique flavors to the table, adding humor, wisdom, or sometimes a touch of sass. Each line feels tailored to the personality it belongs to, and that attention to detail makes the characters feel even more alive. When they speak, it's like you can hear their personalities coming through in a way that feels authentic and endearing. There's a real sense that the writers know these characters inside and out, and that translates into dialogue that rings true for the audience. The script is also filled with moments of sharp wit that come across in the funniest, most unexpected ways. Whether it's a playful exchange between Gabby and her dollhouse friends or a cheeky line from a magical creature, the film never misses a chance to add humor where it counts. These moments are light and fun, often offering just the right amount of levity to balance out the more heartfelt or intense moments. It's the kind of dialogue that kids can enjoy, but adults will find clever too. It strikes a perfect balance between being silly and meaningful. What really stands out is how the script knows when to slow down and add emotional weight to the story. When the characters are facing challenges, the dialogue doesn't just move the plot forward, it digs into the emotions behind the situation. Gabby's interactions with her friends are filled with moments of vulnerability, especially when they're learning important lessons or facing fears. These exchanges have a sincerity that gives the movie an emotional core. There's a depth to some of the conversations that will resonate with anyone who's ever faced a tough decision or had to learn how to believe in themselves. It's emotional without being overly heavy, keeping the tone light but impactful. The dialogue also cleverly uses the magic of the world to play with language in a fun, whimsical way. Characters don't just describe things, they bring them to life through words. Magical creatures might speak in riddles, objects could have quirky personalities, and every conversation feels like a little bit of an adventure. This creative use of language elevates the world building, making the dialogue feel like an extension of the film's larger-than-life world. When Gabby opens a new door or discovers a hidden secret, her excitement is reflected not just in her expressions, but in the playful, imaginative way she describes what she sees. It makes even the most ordinary moments feel like part of something grand. There are also a few standout lines in the script that define the film's core message. While the movie is full of light-hearted dialogue, there are key moments when a simple line carries a lot of weight. One of Gabby's most memorable quotes, when she says something like, "The world is big, but it's even bigger when you're brave enough to explore it," encapsulates the theme of courage and discovery that runs through the entire film. Lines like these are meaningful because they're not just words, they're ideas that the audience can take with them, resonating long after the credits roll. Pacing of the dialogue is another strength. There's never a moment where the conversations feel too long or drawn out, but they never feel rushed either. The dialogue moves at the same pace as the story, allowing for moments of reflection and quiet that balance out the more action-packed sequences. The film's rhythm is in harmony with the dialogue, ensuring that the characters' words contribute to both the emotional beats and the overall flow of the story. Whether it's an exciting moment or a tender one, the dialogue hits just the right note each time, allowing the audience to stay connected to the character's journey. One of the most fun things about the dialogue is how it makes even the most fantastical elements feel relatable. When Gabby speaks to a magical creature or an inanimate object, the way she talks to them is grounded in her natural curiosity and affection. The film doesn't rely on overly complicated language or confusing exposition. Instead, it keeps things simple and relatable. It's this straightforward approach that makes the dialogue so accessible to its audience, whether they're young viewers experiencing the magic for the first time or adults who can appreciate the whimsy. Of course, there's a good balance between the serious and the light-hearted moments. When the characters face obstacles, the script allows for moments of tension, but it also knows how to break that with humor, making sure the film never feels too intense or heavy for its audience. It's a testament to the strength of the script that even the more emotional scenes are still full of joy and fun. And when Gabby says something like, "No challenge is too big when you've got good friends by your side," it's both a rallying cry for the characters and a reminder to the audience about the value of friendship and teamwork. Overall, the dialogue and script in Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, are an essential part of what makes the film so engaging. They make the characters feel real, add humor and emotional depth, and enhance the overall world building with a perfect blend of fun and heart. The way the characters speak brings their personalities to life, and it's the dialogue that keeps the film's pace moving while never losing sight of its heartwarming message. Whether it's a witty line that'll make you smile or a heartfelt exchange that hits just the right emotional chord, the script is as charming and magical as the world it creates. In Gabby's Dollhouse, the film walks a fine line between honoring the conventions of its genre while adding its own unique spin. It's a delightful concoction of adventure, fantasy, and a dash of heartwarming drama, blending these elements seamlessly without ever feeling predictable or formulaic. The movie certainly fits within the genre of family-friendly fantasy, but it isn't afraid to shake things up a bit with fresh ideas that keep the audience on their toes. The genre conventions of a magical, whimsical adventure are firmly in place. From the very beginning, you know you're in for a journey where imagination knows no bounds. The fantastical elements, the playful interactions with magical creatures, and the setting of the dollhouse all scream classic fantasy fare. Plot also follows a familiar structure. Gabby and her friends must solve a problem or overcome an obstacle, usually with a lesson learned along the way. So in many respects, the film doesn't veer far from the well-trodden path of magical adventures meant to inspire and entertain young viewers. But here's where the film gets clever. It's not content to simply walk the well-worn path. It adds its own twist, subverting expectations and keeping the experience fresh. For starters, Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie takes the idea of magical playtime and spins it into something deeper than mere escapism. While the fantastical elements are definitely there, the magic, the enchanted objects, the quirky characters, they don't just serve to create a sense of wonder. They also reflect real-life themes of creativity, friendship, and growth. So while the genre convention of magic solves everything could easily take over, the film keeps its focus on the emotional arcs and how imagination can inspire real-world change. The magic isn't just a gimmick. It's a tool that helps the characters learn and grow. One of the key ways the movie subverts genre expectations is in its approach to humor. Family-friendly films often rely on a lot of slapstick or predictable one-liners, but Gabby's Dollhouse uses humor in a more nuanced, whimsical way. It leans heavily into wordplay, puns, and clever exchanges that add a layer of wit to the adventure. The humor never feels forced or overly juvenile. Instead, it's crafted to delight both kids and adults. Gabby's conversations with her friends, the magical creatures they encounter, and even the objects in the dollhouse offer moments of sharp, endearing humor that don't feel like they're just checking off boxes for easy laughs. And then there's the pacing. While many family films in this genre tend to focus on a constant barrage of action and spectacle, Gabby's Dollhouse knows how to slow down and let the audience breathe. The action is there, thrilling moments of magical discovery and exciting problem-solving, but it's balanced by quieter, more introspective scenes where the characters reflect on their emotions or their friendships. This pacing is key to keeping the film from feeling like it's trying to rush through the plot to get to the next big moment. Instead, the film embraces its whimsical pace, allowing each twist and turn in the adventure to unfold naturally. In terms of suspense, the film takes a fun, light-hearted approach. There's no dark, looming villain or life-threatening danger, but that doesn't mean there's no sense of stakes. The suspense in Gabby's Dollhouse comes from the characters' growth and the challenges they face together. Whether it's solving a magical riddle or overcoming an obstacle within the dollhouse, the film creates tension in a way that feels playful rather than oppressive. The suspense isn't about life or death, but about discovery, teamwork, and the excitement of unlocking new possibilities. This sense of playful tension keeps the energy high without ever dipping into real danger or fear. The balance between humor, action, and drama is one of the film's strongest points. The humor keeps things light, the action keeps things moving, and the emotional moments anchor the story in a way that resonates with the audience. There's enough slapstick and physical comedy to appeal to younger viewers, but it's paired with emotional beats that elevate the overall experience. Gabby and her friends face challenges, but it's not just about winning or defeating an enemy, it's about learning and evolving through the process. The film never loses sight of the fact that the real heart of the story is the character's growth, and that's a refreshing departure from the sometimes over-reliance on action or spectacle that can dominate the genre. What's most impressive is how the film mixes these elements without feeling disjointed. The action sequences, often a highlight in magical films, are full of whimsy and invention, but they never overpower the character-driven narrative. The humor and the magical moments are woven into the fabric of the story, so they enhance rather than detract from the overall experience. There's never a sense that the movie is trying to cram in too many genres or ideas. Instead, it takes everything that works in the fantasy genre and layers it in such a way that it feels cohesive and delightful from start to finish. In some ways, the film does rely on certain genre conventions like the power of friendship, magical transformations, and the belief that imagination can solve problems. But it does so with a twist, making these conventions feel fresh and exciting. The magic isn't just an escape, it's a means of exploration and personal growth, offering a new take on the well-worn path of fantasy storytelling. The film doesn't just rely on the magic of the dollhouse to drive the plot, it uses the magic to push the characters forward emotionally, making the whole experience feel richer and more rewarding. Overall, Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie takes the best elements of its genre and puts a fun, imaginative spin on them. It respects the conventions that make the genre so enjoyable, but it also brings fresh ideas to the table that keep the film feeling new and exciting. The action, humor, suspense, and drama are all perfectly balanced, creating a magical adventure that's as emotionally satisfying as it is visually enchanting. Whether it's through clever dialogue, unexpected plot twists, or the heartwarming lessons at its core, the film is a delightful ride that keeps audiences engaged every step of the way. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie isn't just a fun-filled, magical adventure. It also subtly weaves in social and cultural themes that resonate with today's world, all while maintaining the playful and imaginative tone that defines the film. First glance, you might think it's all about cute dolls, whimsical creatures, and colorful adventures, but there's a surprising depth in the way the film addresses contemporary issues and cultural moments. The movie's social commentary isn't loud or overt, it's more like a well-hidden gem that you discover as you get deeper into the story. One of the most notable themes that the film touches on is the power of creativity and self-expression. In a world where kids are often encouraged to conform or follow strict rules, Gabby and her friends find strength in their uniqueness. Whether it's through crafting magical solutions or simply embracing who they are, the film sends a clear message about the importance of individuality. This theme resonates in today's world where children and adults are constantly navigating pressures to fit in. Gabby's journey is an empowering reminder that being different is not only okay but something to be celebrated. Another key aspect of the film's social commentary is the focus on friendship, teamwork, and inclusivity. The movie highlights how people from different backgrounds with different skills and perspectives can come together to solve problems. It's a subtle nudge toward the importance of diversity and cooperation in today's interconnected world. Characters' interactions are filled with moments where they work together to overcome obstacles, often teaching each other valuable lessons along the way. There's no one hero in the story. Instead, the group dynamic is what makes them strong, reflecting a more collective and inclusive approach to problem solving. The movie also plays with the concept of imagination as a tool for social change. Gabby and her friends use the magic of the dollhouse not just for fun but to tackle real problems, be it something simple like finding lost items or something more complex like bringing joy to someone in need. This highlights the idea that creativity and imagination aren't just for entertainment, they can be forces for good in the world. In an era where STEM education and creative thinking are increasingly valued, the film encourages kids to believe that their creativity can make a difference, both in their personal lives and the world around them. On a deeper level, the film also addresses the idea of personal growth and mental well-being, particularly through Gabby's emotional journey. While the adventure is filled with humor and light-hearted moments, there are undercurrents of self-reflection, especially when Gabby faces challenges or moments of doubt. These moments subtly reflect today's ongoing conversations about mental health and emotional intelligence. Gabby's ability to navigate her emotions, rely on her friends, and trust in herself offers a gentle but impactful message about the importance of emotional resilience. It's a theme that resonates with both children and parents, especially in a time when mental health awareness is more important than ever. The film's subtle social commentary also includes lessons on environmental stewardship. As Gabby and her friends embark on their magical adventures, they come across various aspects of the dollhouse world that emphasize the importance of caring for nature. Whether it's cleaning up a mess, caring for magical creatures, or taking responsibility for their environment, these moments gently introduce kids to the concept of environmental responsibility. It's not shoved into the storyline, but instead it's woven into the narrative in a way that feels natural and relevant. In today's climate, teaching children the value of protecting our planet is more important than ever, and Gabby's Dollhouse. the movie does so in a way that feels organic and accessible. One thing that stands out in the film's social commentary is its handling of competition and success. Instead of glorifying winning at all costs, the movie places more value on the process, learning, growing, and doing your best. This is a refreshing departure from the typical narrative where the end goal is often winning or being the best. Instead, Gabby's Dollhouse teaches that personal achievement and growth are more important than external validation. It's a message that aligns with today's cultural shift toward emphasizing personal fulfillment over the pressure of societal expectations. Of course, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie is not a political statement, doesn't push any specific agenda or try to tackle complex political issues head-on. But what it does do is reflect the values of the time, the emphasis on creativity, inclusivity, emotional growth, environmental consciousness, and the importance of self-expression. These aren't just buzzwords or passing trends, they're messages that resonate with today's parents and children alike. The film doesn't just entertain, it gives kids and adults valuable takeaways about how to navigate the world in a thoughtful, creative, and inclusive way. What makes the social and cultural themes in Gabby's Dollhouse so effective is how naturally they are integrated into the story. They don't feel forced or preachy, but instead are part of the character's natural development. Gabby's growth is an embodiment of these themes, and watching her learn and evolve feels both entertaining and enlightening. The film presents these ideas in a way that is accessible to children but still meaningful for adults, making it a great film for families to watch together. It's a gentle reminder that storytelling isn't just about providing escapism. It can also be a platform for teaching important lessons that resonate in the real world. Overall, the film uses its magical world to present social and cultural ideas that are relevant and engaging. It's a film that reflects contemporary issues in a way that's fun, imaginative, and emotionally resonant. Through Gabby's adventures, the movie quietly encourages kids to think about their place in the world, the value of their imagination, and the power of kindness and cooperation. It's the kind of movie that leaves you with more than just a sense of fun, it leaves you with a reminder of how we can all make the world a better place, one small act of magic at a time. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie doesn't just entertain, it invites you into a world where emotions run high and the bonds between characters create moments that resonate long after the credits roll. From the very beginning, you're hooked, not just by the magic of the dollhouse or the vibrant colors, but by the emotional beats that the film so expertly hits. It's a film that doesn't shy away from feeling, in fact, it leans into it. The audience is in for a ride that's both heartwarming and thrilling, and by the end, there's no denying that Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie knows exactly how to tug at the heartstrings. Take, for example, the quieter, introspective moments that sneak up on you. Gabby's internal struggles and the way she works through them aren't just surface-level conflicts. They speak to deeper feelings of self-doubt, fear, and personal growth. These emotional moments are relatable. They remind you of times when you faced challenges and had to dig deep to find the strength to push forward. As Gabby navigates her own journey, you feel a real connection to her. It's not just about the magical adventures or the wacky creatures, it's about her emotional evolution. This gives the audience an emotional anchor that allows for a deeper investment in the film, making the stakes feel real and personal. And when those moments of triumph come, it's like a collective sigh of relief, not just for the characters but for the audience too. The joy of watching Gabby and her friends overcome obstacles isn't just about the plot moving forward, it's about seeing them learn and grow together. When Gabby has her aha moments, when she realizes her own power and potential, it feels earned. It's not an easy victory, there are bumps along the way, but when the resolution comes, there's a sense of warmth that makes you want to cheer along with the characters. It's a moment of shared emotional release, and that's something audiences can't help but feel. The laughter, excitement, and even a little emotional swelling at these moments are contagious. The movie doesn't just play on the usual heartwarming moments, though. It's also masterful at creating suspense and tension that keep you at the edge of your seat. When things get tough for Gabby and her friends, there's a palpable sense of uncertainty that makes you genuinely wonder how they're going to get out of it. It's not high stakes in the traditional sense of life or death drama, but it's enough to get your heart racing. The way these moments unfold encourages the audience to invest emotionally in the outcome, You want them to succeed, you want to see them get through it, and when they do, it's a rush of relief and joy that feels earned. Then, there are the lighter, funnier moments that are sure to elicit plenty of giggles. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie isn't all about the heavy emotional moments, there are also lots of laughs to be had. From the playful banter between Gabby and her friends to the delightful antics of the magical creatures, the film knows how to balance out the emotional intensity with fun and laughter. These moments of levity give the audience a chance to breathe and enjoy the more whimsical side of the movie, but they're never so over the top that they detract from the story's emotional weight. It's that perfect balance of heart and humor that keeps things fresh and engaging. There's also something to be said about the level of excitement that builds as the movie progresses. Plot is filled with twists and turns, but rather than relying on shocking or big action moments to keep you hooked, it's the emotional journey that fuels your anticipation. Each new challenge Gabby faces is not just about the problem at hand, it's about how she approaches it and the growth that comes from it. As the movie builds toward its climax, you're not just waiting to see what happens next, you're eagerly anticipating how Gabby will handle it, what she will learn, and how she'll evolve. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie also has a way of inviting deeper reflection. It's a film that speaks to both kids and adults, but in different ways. For children, the movie might inspire conversations about self-worth, creativity, and the power of teamwork. For adults, it might spark memories of personal growth and the challenges of navigating relationships or facing inner doubts. These layers of meaning make the film one that invites repeat viewings, as each time you watch, you can pick up on new details or revisit moments that resonate on a deeper level. Whether it's recognizing the emotional depth of Gabby's journey or reflecting on the positive messages about kindness and creativity, there's always something new to discover. What's truly remarkable is how Gabby's Dollhouse manages to pull you in emotionally without relying on conventional tactics. There's no grandiose speeches or tear-jerking melodrama. It's the quiet, intimate moments that get to you. Times when Gabby faces a setback or struggles with her self-doubt are presented in a way that feels authentic and deeply personal. When she comes out on the other side, it's a moment of triumph that resonates on an emotional level, and it makes you want to revisit the film to experience those moments again. The film doesn't just want to entertain, it wants to create a connection with its audience. It's about more than just watching a movie. It's about feeling something, whether it's the warmth of friendship, the excitement of discovery, or the joy of seeing a character grow. The film is crafted in such a way that you can't help but be emotionally invested. Pulls you in, keeps you engaged, and leaves you thinking about it long after the final scene. It's a perfect example of how a movie can resonate with its audience, not just by telling a story, but by making the audience feel a part of it. When comparing Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, to other films in its genre, or even against other family-friendly adventure-filled stories, it's clear that this movie doesn't just follow the familiar paths that many of its peers take. Yes, there's magic, friendship, and whimsical creatures, but what Gabby's Dollhouse does is add an extra layer of emotional depth and creativity that sets it apart. If you've seen films like Trolls or Barbie, the movie, you might notice some similarities. After all, these movies all center around colorful, imaginative worlds filled with fantastical characters. But Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, does something fresh within this well-worn territory. While those movies often focus heavily on big, overarching narratives or moral lessons that are presented in a more traditional, sometimes preachy way, Gabby's Dollhouse takes a more nuanced approach. Blends the magic of the Dollhouse world with genuine emotional growth and personal challenges that feel real, not just for the young audience but for the adults watching as well. One of the most striking differences comes in the film's pacing and tone. Many family films rely on fast-paced action and constant spectacle to keep the younger audience engaged. Gabby's Dollhouse doesn't just keep things fast and loud, it gives room for quieter moments that allow for character development and emotional payoff. This focus on emotional depth over non-stop action is something that differentiates it from other movies that tend to prioritize excitement over substance. Where Trolls might have a high-energy musical number every 5 minutes, Gabby's Dollhouse allows its characters to breathe, making their growth feel more natural and earned. It's as much about the journey as it is about the destination, and that sets it apart in a genre that often rushes to the climax. In terms of the Gabby's Dollhouse franchise, the movie does a fantastic job of expanding the world fans are already familiar with while introducing new characters and magical elements that keep things exciting. The dollhouse itself, which has been the central focus of the series, is explored in greater detail here, and the movie offers a deeper look at the magical world within it. If you've watched the series, you'll recognize a lot of familiar faces and settings, but the movie pushes the limits of imagination further than the show typically does, creating an experience that feels both fresh and familiar. When you think about family films that focus on creativity and imagination, you can't help but compare this to classics like Alice in Wonderland or The Wizard of Oz. Those films also feature characters navigating strange, fantastical worlds, but Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie does so with a modern sensibility that appeals to today's audiences. While those older films had their own versions of imaginative adventures, this movie is crafted with an emphasis on problem-solving, teamwork, and emotional intelligence, lessons that are much more central to current-day storytelling for young audiences. Comparing this film to the director's previous work, if they have any other family-oriented projects, Gabby's Dollhouse stands out for its unique approach to emotional storytelling. Many directors of children's films may stick with tried-and-true formulas of easy-to-digest morals, but this film dives into subtler themes of personal growth, self-discovery, and community. It's not just about solving problems, but about how those challenges shape the characters emotionally. That's something that could have easily been overshadowed by the bright colors and whimsical elements, but the director masterfully weaves them together so they don't feel disconnected from the heart of the story. Looking at similar films in the genre, there's often a clear distinction between the fluff and the heart. Many films in the family-friendly genre fall into one of two categories. Either they're pure escapism with little emotional substance, think of many animated films, or they get so bogged down with the message that it feels like the joy of storytelling is lost. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie strikes a balance, delivering the magic and fun that audiences love while still offering up real emotional moments. That's what makes it stand out. It's a film that doesn't just want you to watch, it wants you to feel something. It doesn't just rest on its gorgeous visuals or its playful antics. It builds a story that makes those aspects even more impactful. Even though the movie is firmly planted in the genre of children's adventure and fantasy, it avoids falling into some of the traps that can make other films in the same category feel too formulaic. There's no over-reliance on catchphrases, overly simplistic conflicts, or neat and tidy resolutions. Instead, the movie pushes itself beyond these conventions, offering a more nuanced take on how imagination can foster emotional resilience and the importance of personal growth in the face of challenges. In short, Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie brings something new to the genre by blending the fantastical with emotional depth in a way that feels both fresh and familiar. Takes the best elements of its predecessors and incorporates them into a narrative that feels modern, inclusive, and emotionally resonant. Where many family films might play it safe or stick to familiar formulas, this one dares to dive deeper, offering a multi-layered experience that stands out in the world of children's cinema. Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie doesn't just stand alone as an isolated story. It's a vital addition to the larger Gabby's Dollhouse franchise, building upon everything fans already know and love about the series. If you've been following Gabby's adventures with her dollhouse and magical friends, then the movie feels like a natural extension of the world, pushing the boundaries of imagination and emotional depth that the series has always hinted at. Takes everything that worked well in the TV show, the whimsy, the creativity, and the lovable characters, and elevates it to a bigger, more immersive experience. What's so great about Gabby's Dollhouse? The movie is how it fits perfectly within the broader narrative of the franchise while also taking it to exciting new heights. Fans of the show will recognize the familiar dollhouse, its magical inhabitants, and Gabby herself, but the movie adds new layers to the characters and the world they live in. In a way, it's a perfect blend of old and new. The narrative weaves in elements from past episodes, offering fans a sense of continuity, but it also introduces new ideas and challenges that push the characters to grow. It's not just about revisiting the familiar, it's about expanding on it and making the world of Gabby's Dollhouse feel even more vibrant and dynamic. The film's storyline isn't just a one-off adventure, it feels like a key chapter in the ongoing saga of Gabby and her magical friends. It's packed with moments that both honor what's come before and tease what could come next. If you've been invested in Gabby's journey, you'll appreciate how the film dives deeper into the emotional arcs of the characters, adding more layers to their growth and development. The film doesn't just add spectacle for the sake of it, it uses the larger narrative of the series to deepen the connections between the characters, creating stakes that feel personal and significant. It's this attention to character growth and story development that makes the movie feel like an integral part of the Gabby's Dollhouse universe, rather than just a standalone experience. One of the highlights of the film is how it builds on the themes and world-building established in the series. Throughout the show, Gabby has dealt with small, personal conflicts and magical mishaps, but in the movie, these elements are taken to a grander scale. The dollhouse itself becomes a character in its own right, a place that holds deeper meaning and a larger role in the narrative. This doesn't just make for a more exciting adventure, it also adds emotional depth as the stakes feel more meaningful. The movie allows Gabby to step up in ways she never has before, taking on challenges that push her beyond what she thought possible. This is a natural progression for the character and for the series, and it keeps things fresh while staying true to the essence of what fans love. In terms of historical or franchise context, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie is part of a long tradition of children's films that combine imagination, fun, and life lessons. While not rooted in any specific historical event or time period, it carries with it the legacy of animated and live-action children's films that have explored themes of self-discovery, the importance of friendship, and the magic of creativity. It draws from a rich history of family films that encourage children to dream big, problem-solve, and embrace the wonders of the world around them, all while having a blast. The historical context of this film is more about its place in the development of children's media. In an era where family-friendly content is ever-evolving, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie manages to stand out by offering a modern take on timeless themes. It's rooted in the tradition of imaginative storytelling but embraces contemporary values like emotional intelligence, diversity, and collaboration. This is especially important in today's media landscape, where children's films are expected to be not only entertaining but also educational and emotionally enriching. The movie's success lies in how it weaves these values into its narrative without making them feel heavy-handed, creating a film that both kids and adults can enjoy and learn from. If we look at the Gabby's Dollhouse franchise as a whole, the movie plays a crucial role in expanding the universe. It's not just a fun extension of the series, it's an opportunity to explore new themes, introduce new characters, and take the audience on an adventure that feels both familiar and new. The film's impact on the overall story arc can't be understated. It's a game-changer that broadens the emotional depth of the series and sets the stage for future adventures. The movie's inclusion of new elements also serves as a stepping stone for potential future projects within the Gabby's Dollhouse universe. It introduces the possibility of more adventures, challenges, and lessons for Gabby and her friends. For fans, this is an exciting prospect. The movie feels like the beginning of something bigger, leaving plenty of room for more growth and exploration of this rich, imaginative world. So, whether you're a die-hard fan of the show or someone just discovering the Gabby's Dollhouse universe, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie adds a valuable chapter to the story. Brings new ideas, new emotional stakes, and a fresh sense of wonder, all while staying true to the heart of what makes the franchise so special. It's a film that not only fits seamlessly into the larger narrative but also enriches it, creating a lasting impact that will resonate with audiences long after the movie ends. When you dive into Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, there's more going on than just a fun, whimsical adventure. Underneath all the vibrant colors and magical creatures, the film is packed with hidden symbols, metaphors, and recurring motifs that enrich its storytelling and themes. These layers of meaning might fly under the radar for younger viewers, but for anyone paying attention, they add a depth that makes the movie feel more sophisticated than your average children's film. Let's start with the most obvious symbol, the dollhouse itself. On the surface, it's just a magical playhouse where Gabby and her friends explore, but in a deeper sense, the dollhouse represents imagination, possibility, and the power of creativity. It's a safe space where Gabby can experiment with different ideas, solve problems, and learn about herself and her friends. The dollhouse is a metaphor for the inner world of the imagination. It's where anything is possible, and it serves as a symbol of how creativity can be both an escape and a tool for self-discovery. As you move through the film, the dollhouse's transformation plays a significant role. It's not just a static place, it evolves and changes along with the characters. This progression mirrors Gabby's own emotional growth. Early in the movie, the dollhouse is simple and playful, but as Gabby faces challenges and learns new things, the dollhouse adapts, becoming more complex and even a little more mysterious. This transformation symbolizes Gabby's expanding worldview. As she grows, so does her ability to think creatively and approach problems with a new perspective. Another powerful metaphor in the film is the journey itself. Gabby and her friends face a series of obstacles that require them to work together, think critically, and be resourceful. These challenges mirror real-life experiences where growth only happens through perseverance, cooperation, and the willingness to face the unknown. The obstacles in the movie are metaphorical representations of life's difficulties. They're not always easy to overcome, but they help shape Gabby into a more confident and capable person. This message is subtle but clear. Life's challenges are opportunities for growth, and with a little creativity and teamwork, anything is possible. The recurring motif of friendship is also deeply symbolic in this movie. Throughout their adventure, Gabby and her friends rely on each other to solve problems and navigate the magical world of the dollhouse. This strong bond between the characters isn't just about having fun or working together to overcome obstacles. It's a metaphor for the importance of community and support in real life. The film emphasizes that no matter how big the challenge, having a group of people, or friends in this case, to lean on makes everything more manageable. This theme of interconnectedness is something that resonates beyond the screen, reminding the audience of the power of human connection. In addition to the dollhouse and friendship, there are some more subtle metaphors that pop up in the film. For instance, the movie uses the concept of unlocking doors or discovering hidden parts of the dollhouse. These doors represent new opportunities or personal revelations. Each time a door opens, it's like a new chapter in Gabby's emotional and mental journey, giving the audience a sense of progression and discovery. This ties into the broader metaphor of self-growth. The more Gabby discovers about the dollhouse, the more she learns about herself and the world around her. Another interesting element is the symbolism of the magical creatures within the dollhouse. Each of these creatures represents different aspects of Gabby's personality or emotions. Some characters may symbolize her creativity, others her determination, and some may even represent her fears or insecurities. As Gabby interacts with these characters, it becomes clear that the creatures aren't just quirky sidekicks. They're reflections of the different facets of her personality, helping her confront and understand her own feelings. The relationship between Gabby and these creatures feels symbolic of the process of self-reflection and the inner work that comes with growing up. The film also uses color as a tool for symbolism. The bright, playful hues of the dollhouse and its characters are a visual cue to the joy and creativity that Gabby experiences. However, as the movie progresses and Gabby faces tougher challenges, there are subtle shifts in the color palette. Darker shades and more muted tones are used during moments of conflict or uncertainty. This shift in color helps the audience understand the emotional stakes of the story without a word being said. It's a clever way of using visual storytelling to reflect the internal emotional journey of the characters, especially Gabby. What really ties all these symbols and metaphors together is the central theme of personal transformation. The journey Gabby embarks on isn't just a physical one through the dollhouse, it's a journey of self-discovery. Every obstacle, every new door she opens, and every friend she meets is a step toward understanding who she is and what she can become. The film doesn't just show us Gabby's world, it shows us the process of finding your strength and purpose, a lesson that resonates with audiences of all ages. In a way, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie transforms into a meditation on the power of creativity and emotional growth. The metaphors are rich and layered, encouraging viewers to think about their own journeys of self-discovery, the value of friendship, and the importance of embracing imagination as a tool for solving real-world problems. Even though it's wrapped in a package of colorful animation and playful adventures, the deeper messages of the film have the potential to stick with the audience long after the credits roll. By weaving these symbols and metaphors throughout the narrative Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie offers more than just a fun movie experience. It's a thoughtful exploration of the ways in which creativity, relationships, and self-awareness shape the journey of growing up. And for anyone paying attention, these deeper layers of meaning make the film not only entertaining but also deeply enriching. In the context of the Gabby's Dollhouse franchise, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie plays a vital role in expanding and enriching the overarching narrative. This isn't just a standalone film, it's a natural progression for both the characters and the world they inhabit. If you've been following Gabby and her delightful crew of Dollhouse friends through the previous seasons, this movie feels like the next exciting chapter, one that builds on everything you love about the series but elevates it to new heights. One of the key ways the movie contributes to the larger Gabby's Dollhouse universe is by delving deeper into the characters' emotional arcs. While the TV show focused on fun adventures and light-hearted problem-solving, the movie takes things a step further. It explores themes of personal growth, the importance of teamwork, and how imagination can help overcome obstacles in ways that feel both profound and entertaining. These deeper emotional and narrative layers push the characters beyond their usual antics, making this movie feel like a crucial piece of the puzzle in the franchise's journey. The dollhouse itself, as always, serves as the central location, but in the movie it undergoes a transformation. It's not just the magical setting it used to be. It becomes a more complex and dynamic entity, reflecting the growing complexity of Gabby and her friends. This evolution of the dollhouse mirrors the characters' own growth and the evolving stakes of their adventures. It's a subtle yet powerful metaphor for how we change as we grow, and how our environment and experiences grow with us. Beyond character development, the movie also expands on the mythology of the Gabby's Dollhouse world. It introduces new magical creatures, new settings, and even new rules governing the dollhouse itself. This fresh injection of ideas and imagination makes the movie feel like an exciting expansion of the universe, rather than just a rehash of what's already been done. It's a clever way of keeping the franchise fresh and engaging for longtime fans, while also making it accessible and exciting for newcomers. In terms of its place in the historical context of the franchise, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie stands out as a high point in the evolution of children's media. It takes everything that has worked in the show and magnifies it: the vibrant animation, the imaginative storytelling, and the heartwarming lessons. But it also manages to introduce new ideas and techniques that push the boundaries of what a kids' movie can do. The film embraces the evolving landscape of children's media, offering not just entertainment but also educational and emotional value. It's a reflection of how children's films have grown over the years, focusing not just on simple moral lessons but also on more complex themes like friendship, resilience, and the power of imagination. If you think about the broader landscape of children's entertainment, this movie is a product of a time when animated films are expected to do more than just entertain. They need to engage young audiences on an emotional level and offer deeper lessons that resonate. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, does just that. It's an example of how kids' films are no longer just about cute characters and fun songs. They're about teaching valuable life lessons and encouraging kids to think critically and creatively. As for the film's place in the larger historical context, it doesn't just represent a significant moment for the Gabby's Dollhouse series. It's also a part of a broader trend in children's media that's becoming more emotionally rich and diverse. The movie taps into themes that resonate with children today: teamwork, self-discovery, and overcoming obstacles, all of which are important aspects of growing up. This means that the movie doesn't just sit comfortably within the Gabby's Dollhouse narrative. It also feels like a contribution to the ongoing evolution of children's storytelling, a genre that's increasingly moving beyond simple entertainment toward more thought-provoking and emotionally layered content. The historical significance of Gabby's Dollhouse. The movie is tied to the way it reflects the evolution of children's programming in general. It's part of a movement that recognizes the importance of offering young viewers stories that are not just fun, but that also reflect the complexities of real life. There's a sense that the creators of Gabby's Dollhouse have learned from the shifts in how children's films and shows are being made. Films that are more inclusive, more thoughtful, and more focused on emotional growth and social development. This movie is a prime example of how a franchise can grow, adapt, and remain relevant to audiences, even as it tackles more mature themes in an accessible way. So, while Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, might seem like another fun chapter in a well-loved series, it's also an important piece of the broader narrative of modern children's media. contributes to the ongoing development of the franchise, taking it to new emotional and imaginative heights, while also tapping into the larger trends and values that define today's children's entertainment. It's a movie that builds on the past, expands the present, and hints at exciting possibilities for the future of the Gabby's Dollhouse universe. For American audiences eager to experience Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, there are a few exciting options to keep an eye on. While the film is expected to have its theatrical release across U.S. theaters, the exact date to watch it on the big screen will depend on your local cinema. However, the movie is set to hit theaters nationwide on September 26, 2025, so mark your calendars and prepare for a magical movie theater experience. It's the perfect opportunity to see Gabby and her dollhouse friends come to life with all the vibrant colors, stunning animation, and heartwarming moments that make the series so beloved. For those who prefer watching movies in the comfort of their own home, fear not! While the movie's initial release will be in theaters, there's a good chance that it will also make its way to popular streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and YouTube Movies. Given the increasing trend of releasing movies on streaming platforms post-theatrical release, it's likely that Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, will follow suit. If you're not ready to head to the theater, streaming could be the best way to enjoy it with your family when it becomes available. But what if you're someone who loves having options for watching movies? Digital rental services like Google Play Movies or Amazon Video might also offer Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, for on-demand rental or purchase. This way, you can watch it at your own convenience without leaving home while still enjoying the full experience on your preferred device, whether that's a laptop, tablet, or TV. For those who truly want to make the experience special, there's no better way to enjoy Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, than on the big screen, surrounded by the excitement of fellow fans. There's something magical about seeing these adorable characters on a massive theater screen, with the immersive sound and vibrant visuals making it a memorable outing for the whole family. And let's not forget about the growing trend of special events and limited-time screenings, where you can often catch films like Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, at select theaters for a limited period. These events often include extras like behind-the-scenes features or a chance to interact with the film's creators in some way, giving the movie a more interactive experience. So whether you're planning to see the movie in theaters for that larger-than-life experience or waiting for its digital release to stream it at home, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, promises to be a delightful and magical adventure for everyone. Keep your eyes peeled for updates, check your local listings, and stay tuned to streaming platforms for the best way to experience Gabby's latest cinematic journey.